No.
I was.
Oh,
Um,
so you didn't see the post.
no.
Here comes Chad. Morning, Chad.
Morning. How's it
So
going?
it's going. It looks like it just might be the three of us. I got a text from Mateo last night. He's going to be out of cell phone range. Peter just texted me. He's going to be running late. Al typically forgets unless I remind him. And I don't know how my audio is, but I have no earbuds today. I bought two sets. I have two sets, and I usually keep one in the truck in case I forget to pick them up in the morning. Yeah, I took them out of my truck last night, and my other ones were in my pocket, and I forgot to put them back in my pocket this morning. So
Oh,
I can hear everybody, but unfortunately, you may get some background noise from the warehouse once people start getting here, and I apologize for that. But
it sounds good.
so, just a little update on what's going on with me. I crashed my drone last Saturday.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yep, and I mean crashed it. Four broken wings. See if I can pull up a photo of it. So, what are you doing in Canada, Jeff? Just flying?
Work. Yeah. I'm here till
Um,
Sunday. Hopefully, I can get out of here on Sunday.
Come on, you can do this, Michael. Full screen. Yeah, I was flying power station, substation. Oh, there it is, and uh, and yeah. So you're a pilot. You know the different mindsets that we get warned about. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I fell into one of those. I was on the phone with Matt Matt Barnes out of St. Louis area,
Mm-hmm.
and I was having problems with my GNSS receiver. I was getting frustrated because it was late. I just wanted to get home, and it was one of those things that, you know what, I'll do this. So I went up. I flew up. I where's okay? How do I?
You start doing power inspections or whatnot. I think Peter was saying something about
Yeah,
picked up some kind of.
yeah. I've got a. Hey, there's Al. I've got a potential. Um, Working with a company out of Denver slash Texas,
Yeah.
and morning Al.
Funny.
I went out to fly the job just to do a test case,
Yeah.
and I was having problems with my GNSS receiver. I was getting frustrated. I'm on the phone. We're working through it. And I told Matt, I said, I got to go. Burning daylight. So why is this being difficult here? Maybe I need to open something else up. I'm working on it, guys. I promise. I'll figure this out. Technology and me tend to be a little difficult. Anyway,
It's all.
um, was put the drone up. I'm trying to establish Mocha. I know that my poles are 200 feet high. I am flying from I'm traversing from the northwest to the southeast side of the job, and I'm looking through my screen, and I see that I am pretty much the middle of the sag of the power lines. So I know that I'm good on elevation. As I'm getting closer and closer and closer, it's like, you know what? I'm going to pull up, add some altitude just because, um, just for comfort's sake, safety, all that fun stuff that we talk about. And
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And yeah, well, as I was climbing out, what I didn't realize, because it was at a distance, and I couldn't see it. I could see in my monitor. I could not see the high tension wire that I was about to fly in that was connecting the two poles together. So as I'm climbing out, I went right into it, and my drone took a dive, and that was the end of my drone.
Oh, that sucks.
So,
So
so
bad.
it'll land in DJI's hands today, and hopefully I'll know how soon I'm getting a monitor or a new drone. Why am I having? I did this last week. Oh, there we go. But it's not. There we go. Now,
You had a spare, didn't you? I thought you had two of them.
Well, I have a phone a friend option that
Oh.
is Al. We're gonna fly. I got to revisit one of the job sites. Are you seeing the picture I've got up right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the battery that ejected, and then that's the drone, and that's the wrong way. And there, as you can see, is
The
my
gimbal.
M3E. Yeah. And if we zoom in, you can see that I cracked the base of my RTK unit,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see it's not quite sitting flush. So put everything in a box and shipped it off, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Is the RTK module covered also?
No, but I'm trying to see if they'll send me a new one anyway, because it was attached to the drone when it crashed.
Yeah.
It's not covered on my thing, but the new ones, not the new ones, because well, the 4 is the new one. But at some point in the life cycle of the M3E, they started including that unit in the base price.
Oh,
So,
in on the M3E later on.
yes. So,
Really?
yeah, so hopefully I'll get one of those units that already has it in the box. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause that thing is 700. Well, it was $709, whatever, when
yeah,
I bought
yeah,
mine.
but Peter's got a line. Peter's got a line on a company that's selling it for like 2 something out of China. And
Yeah.
that's what he has. So I'll have to get that information from them if for some reason I don't get my RTK unit back. Actually, at this point, I don't know if I would trust that RTK unit because of the impact.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because I don't know how that affected antenna height or any of that stuff. So that could be an issue going forward. So hopefully they'll just replace it for me. But yeah, that's my crash story because I had that get her done attitude and was just trying to get it done. And I was at 220 from my takeoff point. Well, what I didn't take into account was that the ground actually dropped away, so I'm still at 220, and I was climbing right into the. Actually, no, it went the other way. Yeah, it climbs on the other side. So I was going up, so my altitude was at 220. So I should have been able to clear all that stuff, but no, you got to take terrain awareness into effect there. And yeah, so, but yeah, they should have it today, and I should hear something back. And for those of you that have had it for a while, because this is my second renewal, so my 3rd year with this drone, you need to go in and activate your refresh on your controller and bind it to that. They don't tell you that in the email that you get when you sign up for when you renew your service. So if you've paid
Say that again.
when you go in and you renew your Care Refresh or Enterprise Plus, whatever,
Yeah.
they don't tell you in the email that you get after you purchase it that you need to go in and attach that to the drone all over again. Like you did initially way back when that we all forgot about because it's a once a year thing, it's an annual thing. And we did it when we got it, but we didn't remember that we needed to do it when we got it last year. And we didn't remember to do it this year. So yeah. So there was some creative attaching after the fact before I filed my claim so that it was bound to my drone. So just keep that in mind. Pro tip of the day. Make sure all your
That's good.
paperwork's up to date.
Yeah. So are you using Master Air Screw props?
Yep.
How do you like them?
I think they're awesome. I don't notice any. I notice the sound difference, but I don't notice any extra battery life. And
They're stronger, aren't they?
well, supposedly, but what I can tell you is that I can see my drone better. Okay, I can tell you which way it's going because I've got 2 orange ones on the front and 2 orange ones on the back. So when it's just idling up there in the sky, I don't have to touch a control to make it move to figure out which direction it's heading. If it's at a close enough distance, obviously.
I could see that.
Yeah.
See it better. I mean, because that thing gets out 1,000 feet or more. It's just
Yeah, it makes it
like
real
a
hard to
dot.
it makes it real hard to see those high tension wires. So but what was funny, not funny, was that when because I'm watching it, because I just started my climb out, I'm watching it, I see the impact, I look down, I'm in Addy mode, I just went thumbs up Buttercup to climb out, and then my screen went black. It's like, oh, drone disconnected. All right. So yeah, fun times.
That sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear
Yeah,
that.
you know what, what I came up with on the upside is, I paid for the Care Refresh on my Air 2. I paid for the Care Refresh on my Air 2S. I paid for the Care Refresh for twice now. So for 3 years, I've had Care Refresh on that drone. So that's 5 years, actually 6 years that I've been paying Care Refresh because I had it for 2 years on the Air 2 before I sold it and got the Air 2S that I've never used, that I've spent money on, and I got no value out of because, well, other than peace of mind. Now I actually have an accident and I'm going to get some of that back that I paid into it. That's how I justified it in my mind. So,
Yeah, I think long enough in this industry, it's just a matter of time for everyone. It's not
well,
if,
that's
when.
It is.
that's what I posted on the survey school, because Rami had posted something about who's working on Saturday. It's like, dude, I've been at this for all day already. I mean, I was on my third job site when he, yeah, I was on my second job site when he posted that. It's like, dude, I've been out here since 7. Um, and I put 10 hours in that day. And I said something. I said, yeah, and there's another story to tell, but that's going to be its own separate post. And I posted about the crash and and I brought up motorcycles. If you ride a motorcycle long enough, it's not a question of if you're going to crash. You're gonna crash.
It's
I've
when.
yeah, it's a matter of when. And I've gone down twice on the asphalt in my life. I still ride sometimes, uh, but yeah, it's just a matter of when. It's not if. So, but
Yeah, it's the truth.
anyway, how's everybody's business going?
Go on.
It's going. Yeah, Peter got back got the sad notice that he's not going to get the interior job with a custom home builder that's doing 500 houses. So
That sucks.
yeah,
Yeah,
You put a lot of work into it.
yeah, he did, and that got me thinking. So, like with my current situation with FP, I got an email. I was talking to Larry, who's head of field operations. Hi, Molly. Um, and he says, I want to get more guys doing this. I said, Larry, Chris Hughes and I just came up with a number, almost $500,000 in savings in the last year for what my drone does and what I do as a company. He says, why does nobody know that? I said, because Chris and I just did the math on it. And it's like cool. Um, and so he reached out to our pre-construction people, that basically chase the jobs, not estimating. The pre-con is before estimating. They work with estimating. And then I got an email back, and then I answered that a couple times. And I actually had to go to the office that day to pick up the 470 tag for my truck because I got a new truck. I'm a happy boy. Other than don't call me in it because the Bluetooth sucks. Um, I ran into Marcus down there, and he pulled me in his office, and we had a really good chat. And it looks like there's going to be more business for me coming out of FP, which is awesome. But the point I'm getting to is that you've got to find, because I had this conversation with Matt yesterday on the phone. You've got to find the guy that's the right guy, because
Yeah.
we can all talk to the superintendents, we can all talk to the PMs, but if they're not the one in charge of the money, ultimately, you're not barking up the right tree. Superintendents are a great place to start. They're going to send you to the PMs. The PMs are not going to want to spend the money. So maybe look at finance, because they're the ones that count the beans.
Mhm.
And if you can demonstrate money saved over the last year, like I have done recently, it changes things around, because that's bottom line money that the company did not have to spend. So it was 400,000 on one, and then 40,000 on two others. So
I'll say that again. Find the finance guy.
possibly. I mean, you never know where it's going to come from. I mean, if you follow
Yeah,
Rich
you don't.
Carpenter, on YouTube, he got his start because a finance company, or not a finance, an accountant at the construction company reached out to him to want to know if they could get some drone shots and how much it would cost and all that. And that's how he got his start,
Well,
sort of. But it's always finding the right
Are
Right
you
contact, I guess.
good?
I've been in IT for 20 years, and it's funny how the and I worked consulting, managed services, and corporate and whatever else. It's really funny how the accounting
Come on.
department runs IT
Yeah, because I mean,
because of finances.
yeah, it all comes down to the money. I mean, and that's, the thing that I always come up with, and I'm sure y'all come up with, is how is this going to make me money? We can't answer that question because I mean, we can tell them that it's not. They're not going to make money with drone services. The cost savings, though, can be significant.
Yeah,
I hopefully that, I mean, if everything in a perfect world, there would be no need for drone services because everything goes perfectly every time and there's never a problem on a job site. But being able to have the documentation over the time life cycle of the job, yeah. So getting back to that over the life cycle of the job, Al and I are flying 2 jobs on Saturday. Neither one of them have started. One of them before I even, so I got the go ahead to fly it yesterday, but Al and I had already planned on flying it. What day was that, Al? We decided we're going to fly. Anyway, we decided that we're going to fly it just because.
Saturday,
No, when did we talk about flying it? Is
Monday.
that Monday? Yeah. So Monday I decided that, you know what? I'm meeting out here. The job site is 2 blocks to the north. I'm just going to go ahead and fly it. And then the superintendent came to me yesterday. He says, look, we're going to start releasing money on Friday. So what do I need to do to get you out there? I said, well, a little unbeknownst to you, that I was going to fly it Saturday anyway, just because I knew I had a feeling this was going to happen. And if it didn't happen now, it would happen later, and I would have that data and make that available to you. But Larry has pretty much put his foot down that every job that's coming out of the ground now is going to have a base map, existing conditions before we walk on site, so that we have a record of what was there before we got there. So if there's any damage done or problems that were already existing, they're not on us.
Nice.
Because that's going to be huge cost savings for the company, huge
Yep.
cost savings. And then on the other side of it, like I was talking to the superintendent yesterday, I mean, and I brought this up here. The superintendents and the foremans, they walk around with their dailies, doing their dailies, and they're taking pictures constantly. The problem with that is that there's really no context for those photos. It's like if I take a picture of this data vault right now, okay, that really doesn't do you any good. Now, if I fly in here, I probably could with some prop cars everywhere, but over the office, because we've got a drop ceiling there, there's wires everywhere. I could probably make a map of the interior and show you where this is in space and time in the warehouse. Whereas with just a phone, you're taking that picture, there's not a lot of context to it. You're seeing the bigger picture, the bird's eye view, if you will, with the drone. And that's huge because it saves the superintendent. I mean, so when they first get to the site, they do a job walk and they go around and they literally document all the cracks in the sidewalk, all the road damage and whatnot. Well, where is that in relation to the job site? Where is that in relation to the building that's going up or the building that's being torn down? You don't have that reference point. Whereas with a drone map, we do. And
Yeah, what is going on in the area outside?
yes.
So that's situational awareness.
Yeah. So
do these
it's more,
construction companies usually take pictures of job sites?
with their phones. Yeah. I mean, they're
That's
constantly
the way. Yeah, I've been a project manager, and that's the way we did it every
Yeah.
day.
every day. I mean,
Alright.
I've got a company. I don't work with them, but I go to church with the guy. He's a PM for Hazelden. And every time that he gets on a job site, his new PEs, he buys them a 360 camera. He says, every day you're out there walking the site, you put that camera on your hat. And then at the end of the day, they upload it to Drone Deploy. They don't have to do anything with it. But at the end of the job, he tells them to take the damn thing home with them. Now they've got a free 360 camera. So that kind of motivates them to get them out there to do this job that nobody wants to do. Nobody wants to walk around taking pictures. Nobody wants to walk around with that silly camera on your head.
No.
But it needs to be done. So you need to they need to motivate these people, and by the carrot and the stick. I'm going to hang this camera out here. It's a nice camera. You get to keep it, but here's what you got to do to get it. And he said that's saved his ass so many times because they have digital documentation that's time stamped and location stamped. So yeah, and it's just, and we're seeing that more, or I'm seeing that more with the younger superintendents. The guys that are Gen Z, I guess. Who's after X? Gen Y, whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever the latest current generation.
yeah.
is.
I'm
Millennials.
I'm
I don't keep up
I'm,
on it.
I'm the generation that was forgot about, and I really don't have any. Yeah, I don't care.
Either do I.
And that's the great thing about it. Just leave me alone. That's
Yep.
We've been left alone our whole lives. Just let's stay there with that.
Let me do my thing.
Yeah, let me do my thing. If there's a problem, I'll grab the popcorn. If you're the underdog, yeah, I'll probably jump in and help you. But if you're just stirring the pot to make noise, yeah, I'm gonna sit over here with the popcorn and watch the train wreck roll by. But I'm seeing that with the younger superintendents and the younger PMs. And I've said this multiple times, and I'll probably say it multiple more times. They're more willing to adopt the technology of the times versus the superintendents that are early Gen X and late boomers, because they've been doing it this way for 20 years. They've been doing it this way for 30 years. This is what they know. This is what they do. That ain't going to work for us, whatever. But like I said, the younger guys, those are the guys we need to get in front of. Yeah, so there's, how many times have I said that? I mean, Jeff, you haven't been here. You've not, yeah, but you've heard me say that before. We got to get in front of the younger guys.
Oh yeah,
You know that. So
I agree.
But what else, guys?
Well, I had a call. Let's see. I got a lead, anyways, from this leads group, a surveyor that works in construction. I don't know where he is on the food chain as far as decision making, but the call, I mean, basically I made a contact, but he had in the top of his mind, he needs LiDAR. And it was just kind of a quick conversation. And I was like, well, I mean, I kind of explained to him, hey, if you're making topo maps of heavily wooded areas, then yeah, LiDAR makes sense. I mean, said, I don't have a LiDAR myself, but I mean, we can rent one or, figure it out if that's what's needed. And I'm going to call him in a couple weeks, kind of see how things going. But I mean, he took my contact information and, he says, yeah, I mean, he asked me if I was willing to do some work if something comes up.
Yeah, speaking of renting, that was one thing that, one data point that I pulled out of my crash. I took no pictures that day. Like I said, I was just making my Mocha flight, trying to figure out my elevations and where I needed to be.
Yeah.
What I can tell you is that I can't get the ground sampling distance that I want for the not so much the accuracy, but the ability to zoom in and count what we need to zoom in on these sites. So I think a bigger drone is going to be the order of the day if this all comes through with this big job. And
Better camera.
yeah, better camera. The P1 with a 24 millimeter lens,
Yep.
give you that 1-inch
Yeah.
GSD at 375 versus, 1-inch or not 1-inch, 1 centimeter GSD at 375 versus 1 centimeter at 122. So that 375 is going to put me well above
Anything.
So yeah, that was something that came out of me crashing my drone. It's like, all right, maybe I need a bigger drone for this.
You think would it make sense to do the M30?
No, it wouldn't.
That's foldable. That's the next big one.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't, because
foldable.
the camera is not a
It's
global
a
shutter.
rolling shuttle.
Yeah, it's a rolling shutter.
So
So
they have the T, but they have the E as well. I think that's a mechanical
Nope,
Isn't
neither
it?
one. Not on the
Either one
M30.
are?
Nope.
Okay.
So,
Well
so
then,
yeah.
that's not gonna work.
So my thought is that as we progress on this, I will probably rent a 350 at some
Mhm.
point just to show the
Yeah.
better resolution that I can get with that, because I'm going to keep flying the M3E, fly it till the wheels fall off. Well, the wheels fell off last weekend, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny talking about
Technically, yeah.
the props fell off. Maybe that's my signal that I need to buy the M4. It's like, yeah, no. Um,
No.
not,
Yeah.
not unless the DJI wants to refund me a bunch of money for my accident, which they won't do. But yeah, but it'll allow me to demonstrate not so much the versatility, but the better photo quality with that sensor that's on the P1. So yeah, there's that. Or just spring for an Alta and get it that way, because I don't know if I can rent an Alta. It'd be great if I could, or an Astro. That's actually the one I'm looking at, the Astro from FreeFly.
Yep.
Yeah. Free
All
flies. Got a nice one.
Yeah, starting at $34,000.
Yep.
Is
Exactly.
that what the price is on those?
Yep, and that's not
That's
even
without
the
the
NDA
payload, I
compliant.
think, isn't it?
What's that?
That's without the payload, isn't it?
No, I think that is the payload. Has the payload on it with the
Oh,
camera.
it does. Okay.
Yeah, the A7 or something like that.
It has
Yeah.
swappable payloads.
Yeah, it has swappable payloads. It's a heavy
Yep.
lift. Can lift the Astro Prime. I think is rated up to 5 pounds, so 2 kilos ish. So you could theoretically. I don't know if you can dual mount on that. Possibly. You could
I'm
hang
sure you
a
can print something up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not hanging a $30,000 LiDAR unit off of something I 3D printed. I'm sorry.
No. No.
No.
It sounds cool, but no.
That's way too experimental.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I printed a mount to hang my 3D camera or my 360 camera off my M3E. Have I ever done it? Nope, sure haven't. Because A, you can't get that camera that I have anymore. B, they
Is
haven't
that the one RS
released-
one?
Yes.
That's what I have.
Yeah, you can't get them anymore, and if you are, you're paying double the price for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they haven't come out with anything new to replace
No.
that particular one.
Which
Now,
I'm
if I-
surprised.
Yeah, that isn't for as far as low light goes. Nothing touches that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
thing rock.
Yeah. No, I could buy an X4 or an X3 and be a little more comfortable hanging that from the bottom of my drone. A, because it's lighter, and B, because it's cheaper. But no, I'm not trusting a 3D printed mount to hang anything that's going to fly up in the air. Because I'm
No.
sure there's an FAA regulation that goes against that, which I know there is, about having things securely attached to your drone. Yeah, that wouldn't call that securely attached.
I just remember you and I were discussing this
Yeah,
incident, and I'm like, I don't know if
Yeah, not with my RS. No, that thing's too expensive. So, what's up, Pupper? Come on. Say hi. No? Okay. There you go. Is that you? Is that you? I don't know that. I'd ask who's excited about Geo Week, but I'm the only one going this year. So.
Yeah, I saw that. And I was like, looked where it was at. I'm like, oh crap. I guess I
Yeah.
won't be going to that one, but I figured you would. I would if I was there.
Oh, this is my 3rd year in a row.
Yeah.
Awesome times. You meet some great people.
I'm
And
Is that
it's
in
sure.
Denver?
Yeah. It's a geospatial. It's all about geodesy. I mean, that's geodesy or geodesy, however you want to say it. You got GNSS manufacturers there. You got drone manufacturers there. You got camera manufacturers there. You've got, anything that's